Okay. I was telling Canada, thank you so much for that intro, and we saw you, rocking that picture on the slide earlier. But let's go straight into it. It's really, really, really nice to meet you, Kieva, and I can't wait to learn a lot from you, basically, in this 30 minutes that we have. So I'm going to start with setting your own goals. Before we start, your growth goals rather. Before we start, can you in 30 seconds just tell us what it is you do? What it is you do.
Okay, I'll go ahead. Just confirm that everyone can hear me. If you can't hear me, please let me know. My name is Kieva, and I am an entrepreneur. I'm a digital serial entrepreneur, as was described in the the introduction. I run a marketing agency where we work with people who are creating online courses, and we help them create, we help them market it. But I also have a jewelry business, which was really my really first successful business. And I've been running it for about 5 years now, 5 to 6 years. And that's, one of the businesses I got an award for. So that's what I do in a nutshell. Yes.
All right. Then it's interesting that you've spoken about your business and what it is that you do. And, starting off with setting growth goals, there's no point going into a business if you're not looking to grow, right? So let's take it back to 2020, which is interesting because even before the panel started, we had a chance to chat, and we're talking about the year 2020 and how difficult it was on businesses, and just a year, the first time this generation was seeing a pandemic. So I want to ask you first, what did you do during the pandemic to prepare your business for both survival and growth? And how does that apply to your general business growth strategies?
All right, thank you. When the pandemic hit, in fact, the pandemic hit us before it hit Nigeria in particular, or Africa actually, because for my jewelry business, we have our production factory stationed outside of Nigeria, right? So we have Hong Kong, and then our parcels usually go through China, right? And China is where COVID started. So these guys were dealing with COVID like 3 months before it became a thing in Africa. And so in a manner of speaking, we sort of already saw it coming, but at the same time, it sort of also affected us because production times became longer, shipping times, also became extended. And the first thing I had to do was, to have a talk with myself and remind myself that there's always opportunity in adversity. I had no idea that COVID was going to become as serious as it did, but that pep talk, that one-on-one time is always very important. Nothing will shake you if you already had that moment with yourself where you go back and ground yourself, right? So of course I prayed, I spoke to God. I'm like, I need wisdom to deal with the situation. And then I had to speak with my team. So, at the time I was working with a team of about 6 people for Zavandi, which is a jewelry business. And I had to call them to be like, okay, this is what's going on. We had clients who were already starting to complain about the extended timelines and all of that. So I was able to speak to my team and let them know that this is what we would have to deal with for a little bit of a while, but it's only temporary. And so I had to ensure I was preparing everybody's mind so that morale doesn't go down. I think that everything else that I did was, it sort of rested on this background. But I had to speak to myself, I had to speak to my team, and we also had to be ready to do the best that we could, in the middle of everything that was going on. Now, the other thing that I think is significant is recognizing when to do a pivot. We must recognize now, I had 2 separate businesses, right? One of it, we're just going to wait till this blows over. But for the other one, which was a digital marketing agency I was running, I had to, keep an eye out for opportunities and figure out, I'm the one who birthed the vision of this business. So if I decide that right now, based off of the pandemic and everything that is going on, we're going to have to do a slight shift. Maybe in terms of the people we cater to, nobody's going to come and, flog me or anything like that, right? So for some businesses, a pivot was necessary. And for my digital marketing agency, that was definitely necessary. So it was in that period that we decided to focus on working with people who were, selling digital products, selling online courses and coaching programs. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Kieva. I mean, the next thing I was going to ask is, people that experience setbacks, how to recover from the effects. I mean, because you have spoken about things that you could control. So what about those things that you could not control? How do, women who have experienced setbacks, recover from the effects of the pandemic, things that they couldn't necessarily predict or handle?
Oh, I did experience setbacks, and this is a perfect opportunity to share some of those setbacks with everyone, and how we're able to deal with it. But if you observe, by default, it wasn't even scripted. I was answering Shay's question based off of the things I could control, because that was actually the mindset with which I approached the situation. I wasn't thinking, oh my God, what about XYZ things? A lot of things were going wrong, trust me. And one of it was the fact that just before the pandemic, we had just expanded, and it cost us millions, tens of millions. Like, we're not talking small money, right? And as of January of 2020 was the time for us to now rest on our oars and be like, let's start enjoying the returns. But we had to shut down for like 6 months. It nearly killed me. Like, I'm not even going to lie. One of the things I had to do was actually speak to one of my mentors. And so for anybody here, I would like to encourage you to always have someone you can talk to. Of course I prayed, that's what's it called now? That's a staple for me anytime. But I also had to speak with somebody. I had to call someone and be like, hey, I think I'm sinking here. We had gotten a facility from the bank at the time. We need to, pay. We have bills to pay. I have salaries to pay. Right? What's going to happen if we're not operating, the jewelry business for this extended period of time? So talk to somebody. Right. The second thing I did, which came as a result of the conversations I had with people, was to remember that it's not the end of the world. See, sometimes you will incur losses, and you must remember, that you are building for the long haul, right? It will be an unfortunate situation if we're not building for the long haul. You know what they say about a house that's built on the rock. I realized that I'm building a business that I've been building to be here 100 years, 200 years, by God's grace, 1,000 years from now, right? So 1 year, one hard year is just a tiny speck compared to all of that. And so that was able to really motivate me. I'm not giving you practical stuff, even though it seems like I'm talking about the mindset aspect, but that's really what it was, because there were tough times. I had days where I just like shut down. There were times I told my team members that, you guys, I'm really just not in the mood right now. Like, I'm not encouraged by everything that's going on, but I just need to take a break. One other thing that helped me was that my other business, on the other hand, was doing so well, because that was the period where online courses were really thriving and all of that. And we were helping people market. Everybody wanted to do online marketing. But for the jewelry business, it wasn't easy, I tell you. And just speaking to somebody and she telling me, Kieva, I've been here before, I've incurred losses before, you won't be the first. So you're going to dust yourself, pick yourself up and make the best out of what is working. And right now we're actually back and better.
Talking about the things that you can control, if we go back to the beginning of your business, so looking at 2017, what were your growth goals in the first 2 years of your business? What were the things that you set out to achieve in those first 2 years? Because there are a lot of people on here who have ideas and want to start. They know what they have an idea of what they want to do, but they don't necessarily know how to set their growth goals. How did you set yours in the first 2 years of your business?
Before I answer that question, I want to confirm you can hear me, because I had to switch my network for a bit.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Yes. I may have trailed off a bit, but you guys, sorry about that. So how was I able to set my good goals for the first 2 years of my business? Now, you guys, there's a textbook way to set goals, and I'm not here to tell you guys textbook. So forgive me if I'm not saying what you've probably read somewhere. For me, how I was able to set the goals in my first years of business was I asked myself, so first of all, I had to have my vision for the business, right? So what are we here to do? What problem are we solving? And then how are we solving it? How are we different from everybody else who is doing this thing? Uh, and then after I had defined that, after I had a clear picture of what it was I was setting out to achieve, then I went out there to see what was going on. Now, I recommend that you do it in this order because sometimes when you first go and analyze the market before you set your goals, you find that you are running with someone else's vision instead of yours. We all have that unique element to all of us, right? So after I had figured out what was the vision for the business I was building. And then I went out there and I asked myself, who are the top 5 people? For you, it might be top 10 people if your space is very popular. Who are the top 5 people? Okay, in this space. Oh, wow. Who are the top 5 people in this space? And I did that globally in Africa and in my country, Nigeria. Okay, and then I was able to just take certain things. So, what are the things they're doing better or they're doing really well? What are the loopholes they have? And how can I, exceed them in some of those areas? So if there's a loophole they have, how can I ensure that I am meeting that need, and stuff like that. So this is a bird's eye view of how I was able to do it. But then this now influenced everything else. Just to be a little bit more specific, good goals, I had to look at revenue, right? But I couldn't say this is revenue I want to have until there was a benchmark set. So the business had to operate for, probably like when I was validating the idea, which will happen like in the first month, the first few weeks. And I was like, okay, if we're able to do this amount, it means that it's reasonable for me to say we can do XYZ amount of revenue. So there was a testing period that gave me benchmark metrics in terms of revenue, in terms of number of sales, in terms of, the channels we want to sell on, even followers, how we want to grow our page and all of that. So that's how I was able to set those goals. I'll come back to them more specifically. So I'll just let Sheito go to the next question so that I don't overflog it.
Of course. Just wanted to note that there is a workbook that has been sent on the chat where you can take notes and implement the lessons that we're currently learning from Kieva, of course, here during the fireside, talking about your growth goals and the mindset, the process that you had to follow for your business in the early stages.